Beloved, welcome back to the shop. I conceal carry, have since I was 18, and this is the primary way I carry these days off the body on an SOE FUPA, which works really good for me. But with summer coming, I find I don't always want to have the responsibility of this bag. I want something that's super concealable that I can wear with my West Coast skinny jeans, meaning when you are wearing, light clothing that won't print, that is deep concealment. Well, what I want doesn't really exist, so we're going to attempt to make it today. Now, some time ago, I was told that Appendix carry was the way to go, and so I tried it. Actually, this was the first Appendix carry holster that I bought. This is a T.Rex Arms Sidecar, and this was part of the system, and I tried to incorporate it really hard. I wanted it to work, but it was so uncomfortable I couldn't wear it. And so I kind of just abandoned the whole idea, and I thought, well, that's not for me. I don't know, maybe my body type or what have you. I tried it again, and I realized the problem was it was too much with the light on it. This holster, this was the portion that I found to be just too uncomfortable, and so I thought, well, let me take a look at this again. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'll just have to live with not having a light, which is fine. I'm totally cool with doing that. So where does that leave us? I had a bunch of parts left over, so I contacted T.Rex Arms and I asked them if I could just purchase outright the holster for the G19 without that light attachment, and that's what we have right here. So this is the basic configuration that we're going to start with. This is what I have. I have a whole bunch of holster parts. So we're going to start with this. Can we, using the pieces that I have, make something work? And here's what I want. What I want is I want a grab-and-go system that I can carry concealed, and no matter what I'm wearing, jeans and a t-shirt that's going to be, that I can do two things with. I want to carry this, my knife, and I want to carry this. I don't need an extra magazine. I don't need a light. I just need it grab and go where I can stuff it on when I need deep concealment and have everything within reach that I can, that it's going to be discreet. So this system, the sidecar here, when you get these from T.Rex, there's several different options. You can add an extra magazine carrier for an M4, right? So that's one option. You can add an extra magazine for your concealed carry. That's the second option. You can even add an accessory for a tourniquet, if you so want. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. Nothing wrong with it, but that's just not what I need. I want this, I want these two. This is what I want. So, can we make this work? Now, I was looking around and I found nothing on the market that brought these two together. So, this is going to be a project that we just worked with today. Now, I'm going to start with taking these off. I carry this horizontal, and I have multiple knives that I can do this with. I'll grab a screwdriver. So I'm okay dedicating a knife to the holster system. So you can follow along as we try to create something that's never existed and maybe come up with something wonderful, or maybe have nothing at all. We'll see at the end of this video. Okay, we have a clean slate here. Now, in a perfect world, it would carry like this. This is the way it should look. Something like this right here that I can grab, stuff into my waistband, cover with a t-shirt, and have access to where they're not going to interfere with each other. So what we have to work with is we have these holes, and if I look at all my holster pieces, we have clips. We got these guys here, a couple of pins and all the hardware. How this system is connected is with this hinge pin right here. So we could cut this down here, destroy this, sacrifice it for the cause, and adapt that to here somehow. That's an option. I guess any one of these, I'm willing, since I'm not really using them, I'd rather have something that I can use than something in a drawer. It's not ideal. We could even cool the Kydex down and flatten that out, but I'm afraid in so doing I'm going to ruin this hinge because that's pretty, yeah, that would never work. The tourniquet, that's not a bad option. But it's kind of soft. It's got kind of a synthetic faux leather material. That might not be a bad option there. But I also notice here we got these guys. So what's the chance of these guys lining up with the holes on the knife itself? And what's the chance of this clip, because we need 2 of these clips to make this work, what's the chance of this working on here? I guess we should start with that. Amazing enough, 2 of those line up. Well, let's start building. Let's see. Hope is my plan. Now, I'm not going to Loctite anything. You have to Loctite your holsters. You will lose all these little Chicago screws. But in the mock-up phase, there's no reason for that. Well, I don't even know if we're going to end up with anything. But we might. And it could be amazing. That's hard to believe that those holes actually line up. I'm not opposed to drilling holes and stuff. Whatever it takes. Now the original clip, if we look, I would imagine we want to keep the proximity pretty close. This angle here it does work pretty good. So I guess we want to maintain that reasonably close. Where does our knife come out in that? I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's actually not at all bad. I think we'll try it. So before we start destroying, we already have these things. Can these be modified with this? Yeah, that might work. If we offset it, does that change things? We even have some adjustability. Having that adjustable like that might be the best option. So let's start with that. What if, and I want the bottoms to be reasonably close. Well, actually, it looks pretty decent. Let's leave that loose, and then we have a little bit of flexibility to. I mean, that actually looks, these clips here are working pretty good. We could even, I suppose we could even move that down if it's not in the position that we like. I have 2 of these little wings. Actually, let's leave that in there. Didn't I? Did I see 2 of those? Yeah. All right, so I can pick up this hole right here. That seems like it's a little bit far. I'd rather have it a little bit closer, because that's my gut instinct. But the holes don't line up there. Did that hole line up in this way? Yeah, actually, you know, that's actually not too bad. Let's start with that. Let's see what happens. I think I can get a screw in there. I'd like to keep it inside these grommets because it would be less likely to auger out that Kydex. I could also add one if I need to. Yeah, we have a fair amount of adjustability here. Actually, that pushes back in. Man, that's looking surprisingly good, to be honest. Let's tighten this up here. Let's see what's what. If this works, this is going to be a real problem solver for me. I like to carry my G19X. I don't want to carry a little toy. I like to have a man's gun. Man, that looks pretty skookum. How's that any different than this? Apart from the clip is a little bit wider. Did I get the knife? Oh, is that the right way for the knife too? Yeah. Why won't that work? Well, let's try it on. Let's see how this works in real life. I do like the fact that it hinges. I think that's going to make it a little bit more comfortable. I'm not going to wear this every day. This would be something that I'd probably take out of the fupa, throw it in here when I go into a restaurant or walking around, short term, hour or two, deep concealment when I don't want to deal with that bag. So this is not something I'm planning on wearing every day. So I was told by some guys who conceal carry a lot to move, that one of the problems is the belt buckle. It's right here and it gets in the way of the clips. And so what they told me to do was to shift it, shift it over to one side, move it over, I guess maybe to the left. So I don't know. All right, so you see, now we've got smooth leather here for those clips to go in. So I'm thinking, all right, I can imagine the no homo here. I got to get that shirt out of the way, though. Ready for the gay pride or party or parade, whatever. So I want something that's going to be able to be simple. I should be able to slip this in. It's too tight. For the appendix carry clip, it's going to be a little bit awkward at first there, but that actually is pretty good. It tucks right in there, kind of in that appendix area. There's a kind of a hollow. Before I started working out, I was too fat to wear this. I think that was another reason, is my gut pushed on it. But even with that full size, now I should probably go with a flat magazine instead of the +2. The +2s are quite a bit taller. So if we go with a flat magazine, that's a pretty good setup right there. The draw is good. Reholster is easy. I can get to the knife. Just be careful putting that back. And then I don't have anything external. I don't have to deal with that bag. I wear pretty fitted shirts like this. I could just leave it out. And even this is pretty slight. I don't know, can you see any printing? Have to be careful. Even lifting, you know, if you don't, not crazy. The belt buckle's off to the side, but that fits. Access is good. You can always have your hand on it. It feels reasonably comfortable. Just be careful reholstering that. Yeah, why won't that work? You know, and it hinges. It hinges, and so when you move around, it's got a little bit of flex to it. Now, one thing I noticed that I don't like is that I don't like that Kydex on my skin. Why couldn't we put a piece of leather on the back of that? Right here, I've got some scrap leather in the drawer. Poke a couple holes in it and cover that with some rawhide, and then I've got leather against my skin instead of that Kydex, which is, you know, kind of even out some of those edges. Let's do that. Man, I think we might be onto something, gentlemen. This is what I came up with. This was the thickest piece that I had. I didn't have enough to cover the whole thing, but again, this is prototype, but it's nice and heavy, and that's going to be much nicer. I put it back on, and actually this doesn't even come in contact with my skin. This is the main concern, and I'm trying to deal with this. This seems to be kind of uncomfortable. Let's try it on. Let's see how it feels. I do not like, is that the right one? I do not like synthetics touching me. So I'm much more keen to have that leather. I might have to get a thicker screw, or a longer screw too, since we're not adding that much thickness, are we? Let's put this on there and try it on. I think that's going to make a big, big difference. I don't want the screw heads against my skin, so this is definitely the way we want to go back. I use this leather whenever I have anything that's rubbing and uncomfortable. Actually, on my knee braces on my dirt bike, I've got pieces of this same leather that I've scabbed on, and it really solves a lot of problems with things that are chafing or wearing on you. Again, gentlemen, I don't know that this is going to be ideal. I don't know if I'll be wearing it a year from now. We're just trying to figure out a solution. Necessity is the mother of invention. So don't be hating. I like constructive input, but we learn by doing. We try things. Concealed carry is not supposed to be comfortable. I heard, was it Clint Smith said, it's not supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be comforting. And that's it. It is comforting. There is our leather mod. All right, let's try it on. Let's do one final fit and see if that doesn't feel a little bit better on the skin. It's really easy to put on. That was my concern. In the past, I found it was kind of fiddly to put it on, but I think with a little practice, that's going to go on quite well. I can already feel there's a big comfort difference with that leather on there. Sure, get that the right way. I don't know if the lanyard's going to work on there. Maybe. But that feels a lot better. Yeah, that tucks in there nice. It's not going to be the most comfortable holster I have, but it definitely is going to be deep conceal. And to be able to sit down at a restaurant, let me grab my bar stool. I think you can sit with it. There's a lot of concerns with yesterday's video. Hey, no, good luck sitting with that. But again, this is not a holster for all day. This is just to fit particular needs. Yeah, that lanyard's a problem there, isn't it? But yeah, that's completely comfortable. It bends with the body, it moves out of the way. I don't feel anything pressing upon me. The access is very good. This would be really nice in a vehicle. Like if you're going through a rough area or high risk area, you could have this at the ready in a car, even your hand while you're driving it. It's going to be really good for that, and even the knife. It's a little bit tight. I might loosen up the retention on that. But that is good. You never know until you spend a few hours in it, but I don't feel any hot spots. I don't see any printing. And there's still adjustability in it. You know, we can move those clips around. But I don't know that I would change too much, to be honest with you. All right. Well, there it is. There's the first ever Wranglerstar official Appendix holster carry with a nice fixed blade knife. What do you think? Give me your comments. It will come out. A little practice, it'll come out. Give me your comments. Any ideas for improvements? But I have to say, man, I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's good. All right, may God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all in the next video.